Our first speaker is beloved Justine Alessi. Okay, come on up. She has been with this since the very beginning. And to me, she's my favorite because she is the master, the best tarot reader in the world. I can guarantee you on that. Because the book that we published of hers is called The Rebirth of the Oracle. Now, you know, there's tons of tarot readers out there, but they're all using the old methods because the old definitions of the tarot have been around for hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years. But they all are relating to things that happened hundreds of years ago. And the tarot reader has to be able to interpret that for now. Well, what Justine did was bring the definitions into modern day. That's what's different about it. It applies to now. That's what the book is about, and that's what her class is going to be about. She teaches what she does, and she said it's very easy to learn her definitions. But I have had many readings with her over the years, and she is spot on, accurate on everything. That's why I call her the master.
Thank you.
No one has ever done it the way she does. And you're going to have fun today because she's going to work the audience.
I told you she knows me do that.
You're going to be surprised what she's going to tell you about you. I keep saying she's more psychic than she thinks she is. And the tarot is just a tool like everything else. But she really knows how to use it. Because sometimes you're not even looking at the cards when you're doing the reading. It's coming from somewhere else.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Okay, Justine, come on up here. And this is her book is available. Okay.
Thank you. You're so good to me.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Okay. Oops. Whoop. Okay.
Hi. I'm not shy to be here. I've been here for 8 years. This is great. Tarot is what I do. I used to be a librarian. How I got my first deck of tarot cards was 26 years ago. There was a young man in the library who did not have shoes that fit. He would take his shoes off under the library table and his toes were curled up. So I felt bad for him and I took him and got him a pair of shoes. Well, a year or so later, he was out in the world. He had turned 18. He came back in the library and he threw a deck of tarot cards on my desk and he said, "You can do these." And I said, "I never saw them before. I have no idea what they are." I looked at them. Something hit me. It was almost like a vision. And it was a vision. And it was a white light. And I knew them. That afternoon, another woman came in. It was story time for the little kids. She came in with her children, and she said, "Oh, tarot cards." And I said, "Yes." I said, "I don't know anything about them." She said, "I'll show you how to do them." And it turned out she was an American Indian from Phoenix. So she showed me, and I got it right away. And I started to do it for fun for people, and my people started to call me, and it was like 4 months later. I was full. People just kept calling and calling and calling. I quit my job at the library because I have a daughter who is chronically ill, and she was at the time. She was about 16. And I stayed home, and I did tarot cards, and I've been doing it ever since. When Dolores published my book, it gave me an opportunity to come out into the world and do the conferences and speaking, and I've been to quite a few places. Lately I haven't been to too much because my husband is sick, but I always come to the Transformation Conference. I wouldn't miss it. I wanted to talk today about a few things. First of all, the history of the tarot from all indications. Now, nobody knows what's true and what isn't because we're talking centuries ago. But for most people believe that in the 12th century, The cards were used by the high priestesses in Egypt to determine people's path of life and to solve problems. The only people who could use them were the priests and priestesses, but most often the women. And people would go there to the temple and would present their issues, and the priestesses would solve their problems using the tarot cards. The tarot at that time was not made of paper. It was made of gold, hammered gold and silver. They were held very sacred. There were only 21 of them, the major arcana, which is called now. And now there are 2 decks in the tarot. One, the major arcana, which there are 21 cards, and then total of 78 cards. The rest of them are the minor arcana, and that's sort of the day-to-day life. And they were added on later. But over the years, the evolution of tarot has been that the people who read them are mostly women, although you do have a few men who read, and they're very good too, but it seems to have been a thing that women were more drawn to, I think because of the priestesses. And most of your readers are in their 50s and older. Those seem to be and you're looking at wisdom, because you get older, you get a little bit wiser. The cards evolved through the churches. In the churches, in the beginning, the Catholic Church had a patron saint for tarot card readers. And then during the Council of Trent, the belief was that gave too much power to women because the church is male-oriented. And I'm Catholic, so I'm not, what do you call that word, trying to denigrate the church at all, because I'm Catholic. But during that time, the men were in power, and they thought it gave too much power to women, so they called them evil. And no one all of a sudden was allowed to use them. Well, now some of that stigma still is around. And unfortunately, many people deny themselves use of a very good tool for the future by believing that. When I do readings, I always do an introduction to the tarot, and I tell people that this is not evil. The thing people are most afraid of in the tarot are 2 cards. One is called Death, and the other one is called the Devil. I am not God. I do not know who's going to die. Neither does anybody else. And I tell my clients, if you encounter a reader who says you're going to die, get up and walk out, and don't pay them. Because what you're doing is you're contributing to their need to take your power. Nobody knows who's going to die, just God. The Death card is really an event in your life that is so majorly transformational that everything will change. Everything being your day-to-day activities, your finances, your personal relationships, and your power. Power being mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. The first death card most people encounter is graduating from high school. At that point in their life, they start to do things in their life that are no longer repetitively the same. They may decide to go on to college, go into the workforce, go to the military, get married, move away. All of those things are death cards. Marriage, divorce, having children, moving across the country, changing careers. If you won the Powerball lottery tonight, it would be a death card, because those are the things that dramatically change people. That's all that it's ever meant. It's never meant anything else. So if I see a death card in your reading, it doesn't mean you're going to die. It means that you're going to go through a major transformation, that something's going to happen. And usually, not usually, always, by the other cards, you can tell which part of your life it's going to be in. If you come in to me and tell me I'm getting married next month, you'll have a death card because you're getting married. And that's the way it is. So, the devil is the other card that scares people. Now, the devil is not Satan. In fact, back in the day, the Egyptians believed in reincarnation. They didn't even believe in Satan. There's no such thing. The devil in the tarot is the devils we fight within ourselves, what we do to ourselves to prevent our own growth. For most of us, the card represents anxiety and fear. Anxiety and fear holds more people back than all physical problems combined. Greed, anger, envy, guilt, doubt, obsessive relationships, the need to abuse drugs and alcohol, these are all devil cards. They're not evil, they're human. People do them, that's life. If you see a devil card in your reading, it certainly does not mean you're evil. It means you're probably your own worst enemy. And I see that constantly. Now, a lot of times, especially I notice in older people, the devil card is reversed, which means no demons. Well, you get older, you get wiser, and you don't do things that you used to do. When you're 60, you don't do what you did when you were 20. And there's like a big line of demarcation between ages when you read tarot cards. The readings I do for a young person at 25 is nothing like the reading I'm doing for somebody at 50, because everybody's life has changed by then, most people's. When you have a devil card, you don't have to fear or feel like you have to change something. You don't have to change it. It's better if you do. You'll probably live a little easier if you do. It's nice not to have anxiety. It's nice not to have fear. But I can't magically say, erase your fear. But I can say, work on it. You know, there's no reason to be afraid. And that's one of the good things about tarot. It'll push you into the future. You can see. And say you're afraid of sickness. Well, sometime it'll say, yeah, there's sickness in the cards. Other times I'll say you're fine. There's nothing wrong with you. You're going to be fine for many, many years. The cards will tell you. People are concerned about their relationships. Will it last? Won't it last? They're concerned about their children. Are they going to turn out okay? You can tell them. All that stuff's in there. Everything's in there. A tarot reading is a story, and it's about you, and it tells you the way your life is going to go in any given situation if you leave it alone. But it will also tell you how to change it, because you don't want to, if you have a negative line in your cards, you don't want to keep that line, you change it. You don't just sit there and say, oh my God, this is going to happen. That's not what you do. You say, this is going to happen. I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to do this. People have saved many, many heartaches from listening to the tarot. I've been a reader for 26 years. I've done thousands and thousands of readings. I would say 90% of my clients come back to me. And I'm busy all the time. I work at it in my house. I have an office. I do some workshops and conferences, as I said, not so many now that Bob's been sick, but you reach a lot of people. And I like to reach people to the point where they can say to their friend, well, let's get a deck of tarot cards. Let's learn how to read them. It's not hard to read tarot. If I can read it, you can read it. If you know the meanings of the cards. Now, it seems pretty overwhelming to learn the meanings of 78 cards. I'm sure that would seem pretty overwhelming. However, it's really not that hard. Using the universal weight deck, which is the deck that illustrates my book, you can pretty much look at the picture on the card and know what it means. It's pretty simple. There's one called the Seven of Swords, and it's the theft card. Well, if you look at that card, it looks like somebody's stealing. That's just what it looks like. He's running away stealing. It's not hard. If it turns over, it has a different meaning. It says what you have lost will be returned. Now, does that mean that somebody's going to steal your purse? Maybe. But it also could be your integrity. It could be your good name. It could be your happiness. Anything can be stolen, but it can also be returned. And if you know it's going to be returned, it's a good thing. If it's not going to be returned, if you're going to allow the theft to go on, well, shame on you. You don't need to do that. You can stand up. You can take charge. You can be cautious. There's a lot of ways to avoid a theft card. My personal opinion of the tarot is that it is a magnificent helper. It does a great job of helping people avoid negative situations and living in a positive light. People often say, do you read your own cards? No, I don't. I don't think I can be objective reading my own cards, and I don't think anybody can. What I will do from time to time is pull out a card on a situation, and if I see what the card means, and then it helps me focus. But I don't think I can be objective about myself, as I don't think most people can be objective about themselves. It's easy to apply a meaning to just make it okay. So I don't recommend reading your own cards. I think that the best thing to do is to go to a good reader. A good reader, first of all, will not charge you an arm and a leg. A reader who charges $700 is not a reader, they are a shyster. Don't go to them. I would say the average price of a tarot reading is between $40 and $100, and that would be about right. Anything past that, it's just too much. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. You're going to get pulled into something that you don't want to get pulled into. There are readers who tell you to come back time and time again. Don't do that either. You don't need your cards read but once or twice a year. And if you're going through something, let me amend that a little bit. If you're going through something, say a divorce, and you're upset, you might want to get them read every 2 or 3 months just to see how things are progressing. But for the most part, once or twice a year is plenty. Any more than that, they're just taking your money. And there's a lot of readers who will try to trap you. They'll say things to you like, well, if you come to me, I'll burn candles, and that'll take away the spell that's been cast upon you. Well, first of all, there's no spell cast on anyone. It's stupid. And 2, they can't take it away. Why? Because they're going to burn a candle? It's just foolish. But people get so frightened, and they do get frightened. It's scary. You know, I don't know if anybody here, has anybody ever met one of those readers? Yeah, you have? Yeah. Don't listen to them. Don't do that. That's just foolish. It's just going to take away your money, and that's all it's going to do. You don't have a spell on you, and no one's going to take it away. You live. We all go through hard times. We all go through good times, and we have to learn to live with them, and that's just the bottom line. One of the things that I do is called choose a significator card. A significator card is what identifies you in the tarot. I do it by feeling a person. When I say feeling, you know how you know your best friend, and you know your sister, and you know your mother, and you know your brother, and you know your husband. Well, you know how a person feels. Do you know what I mean? There's like a feeling that you get when you're with that person. And it feels safe sometime, or sometimes it feels edgy, or sometimes it feels like that person has more control than you do, or it feels like that person is reading your mind. And there's just like a feeling that you get with different people. Well, those are all archetypical personality types. An archetype is an example of how the makeup of a person is. It's archetypical. And when I wrote Rebirth of the Oracle, I used the thousands of people that I had done as kind of examples. And I could say, well, so-and-so feels like this, and so has this. And I started to notice similarities, down to the fact that people in each signifying group had the same ailments. It was weird. And I thought, hasn't anybody ever seen this before? Well, apparently not. And so I started, the book has 69,000 words. I wrote it by hand because I don't know how to type. Then I got my friend Betsy to help me, and she edited the book for me. She typed it all out, or put it on the computer rather, and put it on a disc because she writes. And she set it all up for me, and when we sent it into Ozark Mountain, and they published it. And I was very grateful, because now a lot of people use my book. It hasn't been, a lot of people will say it's better than the other tarot books because it applies to now. some of the older tarot books will look at a card like the Eight of Wands and say Civil War. Well, Civil War has nothing to do with us at this point. I mean, with us personally. And we're not in a civil war. It doesn't make any sense. A lot of the things will be very negative, even to the place of saying people are going to die. If you see a Ten of Swords, no one's going to die. They're going to probably get an illness, but they're not going to die. You can't say that stuff. And so what I did is I turned the book into now. I took the court cards and made them archetypical. And I actually, I've never said this in public before, but one of my clients today just said to me to say it. A professor at Ohio University uses my book when he teaches Jungian psychology because of the archetypes in it. Because I guess Jung believed in archetypes. But anyway, I can tell what people are by looking at them. And what I like to do is go through the crowd and kind of point you out and tell, a few people what they are and why they are that. And I'm going to come down and do that.
Don't forget the Bob story about the millionaire.
Oh, I won't. I have it written. I wrote notes. I got it. Dolores likes me to tell these certain stories, and she always tells me, don't forget the Bob story. I'll tell you the Bob story. Let me tell you the Bob story. I had a client, his name was Bob Essig, young man in his early 30s. I read his cards, I saw the biggest money cards. I said, you're going to be a millionaire by the time you're 35. And he said to me, how? I said, I have no idea. I said, it's not luck. I said, probably you're going to work. Maybe you're going to invent something. I said, I have no idea, because I didn't know. Sometimes I know, but other times I don't. And when I don't know, I say I don't know. The following year and a half, he was 35, and he got on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And he came to the question, the $1 million question with Regis, and all I thought about was you. And he said, so I did it. I took it. And the question was, what year was it? Like year of the dragon, year of the cat, whatever the years were. Well, his uncle, when he called his dad, he's thinking, I'll never get this. He called his dad, and his uncle happened to be at his dad's house, who had eaten that afternoon at a Chinese restaurant that had a placemat that said what year it was. And he told them, and he won the $1 million. He couldn't wait to get back home. I was the first person he called. So it happens. And he was the King of Wands. And I have a few King of Wands sitting here, which are the good guys. You're one. Good guy. Oh, yeah. You are Garnet?
Garnet Schulhouse.
Garnet. You're a good guy. You have the feeling of safety. You have that earth feeling. You feel like the kind of guy that I could say, hold on to my money for me, I'll pick it up in a week, and it would still be there. You have a good energy, like goodness to you, a family energy. You're very close to your family, I assume. Care about the kids, what's going on with them, probably give them all your money. Yeah. King of Wands, the good guy. So if you get a hold of my book, read the King of Wands, and you'll see your archetype. You are a King of Pentacles, which tells me that, no, you are Albert. It tells me that you are very precise. If you want something done and your name's on it, it's done right. And you're fussy about that. You're also your surroundings, your stuff, your things. You're a perfectionist. And you're probably good with balancing life. You're not a person who goes off crazy into one tangent after another. You're a balancer. The pentacle people are balancers. And you feel like a pentacle to me. So is that accurate? Is that how you are?
I think so.
I think so too, yes. You are a Queen of Pentacles, who is the Queen of Diamonds in a regular deck of cards. You are Ilsa. Queen of Pentacles is the Queen of Diamonds, not because you're wearing so many, but because you have the feel of the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is the Queen of Diamonds, and she is an earthbound queen. By that I mean you are loaded with common sense. Down to earth, people do not play games with you, you do not play games with people. You don't put up with that stuff. You love beauty and beautiful things, and usually, and not always, people who love beauty have beautiful things, and they have money because they want those things. So it's all like relative. And it doesn't mean you're a millionaire, but it means that if you want it, you get it. And also, like the King of Pentacles, perfectionist. If your name's on it, it's done right.
That's true.
Is it true?
OCD?
OCD.
Trying to work on it, though.
Don't work on it. It's fine. It makes you who you are. Look at that. So if you get my book, you read the Queen of Pentacles. Here's another King of Wands, but you got a lot of cup in you. The King of Wands is the good guy, the down-to-earth dad guy, and you are Armand. Good guy. But you have a lot of spirituality in you. I feel it. You have like a belief system. You walk the walk, and you are proud to walk the walk. You don't put anybody down. You're good to everybody. You got a lot of King of Cups in you. And you're a very good advice giver. People probably come to you quite often to ask them what they should do, because that wand energy is so strong in you. Or that cup energy, I'm sorry, is so strong in you. So you have a little bit of a mixture, and many people have a mixture. It's called a cup wand energy. And you have a cup wand energy. Not too common, but very nice. So you could read tarot cards. Did you ever mess with them? Yeah, okay, I figured. Okay, let's do the other side a little bit. And then I'll come back. I'll try to, and by the way, I know I can't get to everybody in here, but if you come up to my table in there, I'll tell you what you are. So that I don't miss out on anybody. I've been looking at you. You're a Queen of Pentacles all the way, right? Yeah, I thought so. I was looking at you when I was speaking, because I always kind of pick one person to look at. And you're the Queen of Pentacles, much like Ilsa. You have that perfectionist, that standard of beauty, that whole perfectionist thing. Yeah, you're just the Queen of Pentacles, like they make them the best. And you're a King of Pentacles. You have the same energy. You guys, are you together? You're perfect together. Perfect. You'll have everything. You will, everything. And you have some cup in you, too, some of the spirituality in you. You got quite a bit of that, I think. Did you get it from your mother? Your grandmother? Because you have a female energy. And I don't mean that to be, you know what I mean, but you have a female energy. Very nice energy. You two stay together. Do you have kids? How many?
2.
Oh, that's nice. How old are they?
13 and 14.
Oh, they're that old. You seem like you would have little kids. You look young. You're old. Well, you are a pentacle and you are a pentacle cup. Queen of Wands right here. And the one next to you is also a Queen of Wands. 2 of them sitting together. Queen of Wands tend to travel in packs. Are you together?
We meet at conferences.
Oh, you meet at conferences? The Queen of Wands is the Queen of Clubs in a regular deck of cards. She is an earthbound queen, and the analogy is a tree. You are always there. You are always giving of yourself. You spread your arms wide over many, many people. And people walk right past you and take you for granted because you're supposed to be there. You're the tree. You're the Queen of Wands. She is the most loved queen in the tarot because her life is spent in the service of other people. She is a healer, a caretaker, a nurturer, and a teacher. And if you don't do it for a living, you're going to do it for free. So I always say, do it for a living. The top 2 jobs for the Queen of Wands are teacher and nurse, or doctor, or medical, teaching and medical. But you find them in all jobs, and the Queen of Wands is not afraid of hard work. She's the one who says, I'll do it myself, it'll get done right. She takes it all on, and she'll do a man's job too. She's the one that you'll find, the girls who are out flagging the roads in construction, they're all Queen of Wands. They don't care. They'll do anything they got to do to make a living. They're good people. Wand people are quite loved by everybody. So you two read the Queen of Wands. That's what you are. Okay, let me see over. Here's another Queen of Wands. This is the one who told me to tell, let me see your name, I forget, Donna? Pam. She's the one who told me to tell, I was in the bathroom. I said, you're a Queen of Wands. And she said, she's a counselor for a living. I said, that's perfect. She's a healer. And she told me to tell about the guy at Ohio University using my book because she felt that it would give it credibility, the tarot, because a lot of people are afraid of it. And she said that would give it credibility. So that's why I told it, which was the first time I ever told it. You have a mixture of energy. You are a wand, pentacle energy. You're a pentacle because you're a perfectionist, and you're a wand because you're a giver. You have such a heart. I think you take care of everybody. Yes? Yes, you can tell. You've got such a good heart. Sometime you have to think about yourself. And I'll tell you that you don't. You're healer, caretaker, nurturer, teacher. You're just a very kind person, and I can tell just looking at you. And your name is? Jerry. Jerry. If you want anything, ask her. She'll do it. Here's a Queen of Cups. Haven't seen one of these yet. You could read the tarot. Queen of Cups is the Queen of Hearts in a regular deck of cards. She is my love queen, not because you get so much, but rather because you give so much. The Queen of Cups is non-judgmental of other people, has an unlikely assortment of friends, people who wouldn't be friends with each other, but they're your friend, because you believe that everybody's good. And even people who aren't good, you're still nice to them, and they still take advantage of you, and that's just the way the Queen of Cups lives. I'm a Queen of Cups too. Don't worry, it's okay. It doesn't go away. A lot of times you'll give people a chance where nobody else will. And that's part of being a Queen of Cups. She is my psychic queen. I don't care for the word psychic because it seems to reach a different level than what I talk about, but intuitive, a lot of deja vu, inner feelings that come true, things that happen. Do you ever notice that stuff? Yeah, you're definitely a Queen of Cups. You got to get a tarot deck for sure. You could read them. You could learn them just like I did, just like that. And there's not too many Queen of Cups. And in these conferences, I run into more Queen of Wands than anything. But I do run into some Queen of Cups. And like I said, this is Shirley is definitely a Queen of Cups. So if I'm booked, ask her. She'll read you. Pentacle wand, the same as the other girl. Loves beautiful things, perfectionist, but giver all the way down the line. You're just like, is this your friend at the end here? Oh, okay. You and her have the same energy, very nice energy. You could be artistic. I don't know if you are, but many Queen of Pentacles don't know it, but they have an artistic side. Whether you draw or paint, whether you make things, whether you write, but there's an artistic side that needs fulfilled in the Queen of Pentacles. And most of them do it, but many of them don't. And when I tell them, when I'm reading their cards, I say, you got to do something. I have one girl, this is years ago, and I said, you got a musical side. And I said, you got to do something with it. And so she did, and she was a Queen of Pentacles. She now plays with the Cleveland Orchestra. So, yeah. And she always says it's because I told her. She went and got a saxophone, if you can believe that, and started to play it and got into the orchestra. She has no idea how. It was just this big fluke. And I said, that's where you belong. Here we have the King of Swords. Man in power. Yes, you are. What do you do for a living?
I'm retired.
What did you do?
I was a director of engineering.
Again, the director of engineering. Man in power. The King of Swords is the guy who climbs to the top, who has the ability, which is very uncommon, to direct other people. That's where you get the King of Swords. Most people are afraid of it, or don't know how to do it, or don't have the intelligence to do it. King of Swords is intelligent, he's powerful, and he knows how to move the men around the chessboard. You've got a lot of sword energy. You can do whatever you want to do. And the King of Swords doesn't... This mic went off. Is it on again? Okay, it's on again. They don't retire until they're ready, and they want to make sure that everything is done and their legacy that they leave is good. They are the family men whose children never mess up. Their kids are always good kids, because the King of Swords, like the Queen of Pentacles, has high expectations for themselves and thus for their children. And I've never seen a Queen of Swords or King of Swords or a Queen of Pentacles who had messed up kids. Not yet. And I've been working for many, many years. What do your kids do?
They have disabilities, unfortunately.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But I bet even with the disability, they fight through it.
Oh yeah, they stand up against me as well.
That's good. It's because you're a King of Swords. This is another Queen of Cups right here. You're so nice, and you give it, other people walk all over you. Right? What's your name? Linda. Linda's another Queen of Cups. Psychic, could read the tarot. A lot of giving, loving, intuitive energy, has a feel for people, kind of knows what they need, takes care of them. It's a little different than the Queen of Wands, because the Queen of Wands is more on a physical level, where the Queen of Cups is more on an emotional or mental level, is where the difference lies. You could be a priest, a priestess, you know what I mean? You could give people direction in spirituality. Spiritual energy of the cup people is very strong, and it's not because they sit in their Bible thumpers, that's not it at all. It's that you give kindly of yourself, not just food from your table, that's not what it's about, but of yourself, your time, your energy, your peace. The Queen of Cups has found a way to find peace in her heart, and she generally brings that peace to other people. So you're a Queen of Cups. Queen of Wands, another one, Queen of Pentacles with some cup in her. And Queen of Wands, got a lot of Queen of Wands at this conference. You're again the wand pentacle, like the other two girls here, the perfectionist, but the giver. You're the altogether giver, as are you. Take care of people, run the show. I always say the Queen of Wands should run the world because she knows how to do it. She's good at it. Let me see what we got back here. Oh, how about you're hard.
Thanks.
King of Cups, spiritual. Are you spiritual?
Most people wouldn't call me that.
But are you?
Right.
You walk the walk.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say King of Cups. And a little bit, not shy, but held back. You don't spread it out there, without feeling comfortable. You wouldn't do that. You have to be comfortable. That's a King of Cups. Good guy. Who do we have here? Well, right here we have another Queen of Wands, another Queen of Wands, another Queen of Pentacles, another Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands. Oh, I'll get to them. Okay. Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, King of Wands. Let's see, I need a Queen of Swords. Do I have a Queen of Swords here? It would be highly unlikely that there would be many Queens of Swords at a transformation conference. So I don't really see, my eye's not falling on any, but maybe there's one or two here. But the Queen of Swords, she's not my good queen, but she's not bad. It's not that. It's that the Queen of Swords has a edge to her, and excuse me, she holds a double-edged sword. Sometimes she hurts herself. Yeah. Back on? Okay. Sometimes she hurts herself with her double-edged sword. The Queen of Swords is the one who knows everything. We all know people like this. She's the one who is kind of unkind with her words. She's the one who is very hard on her children. She's the one who, you have to give her credit for some things. One thing about the Queen of Swords is she's generally giving to her community. I've met a few of them, and they care about what goes on in the world. They're very smart women, and I think what happens to the Queen of Swords is she gets frustrated because people don't recognize that intelligence, and then they go out and they help people, and they do women's club and community service and hospital and all that stuff. They're very good volunteers, good people, but they seem to have a little bit of a personality problem. We all know somebody like that. And again, they're not evil people, but rarely, if ever, do I see them at these conferences. In fact, I probably never have. And in all the people whose cards I do, I might get a Queen of Swords once a year. For the most part, I get Cup, Wand, and Pentacle. You're Queen of Cups. You should be reading tarot. Huh? You love tarot? You have a deck? Yeah, you're Queen of Cups. You're hard. You're maybe a Cup Wand, I would say. A giver and a intuitive. Cup Wand energy. Queen of Pentacles right here. You care about how it looks. You're very perfectionist. And you're very kind. And you've got good kids. The Queen of Pentacles, do you have children? Yeah. The Queen of Pentacles has kids who love her. They love her. They might actually walk all over her, but they love her. King of Cups. Queen of Cups. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. Queen of Cups. Let's see. You're hard. Yeah, he's tough. I'm kind of hovering between Cup and Pentacle. What do you do for a living?
Everything.
So you're King of Cups. The King of Cups is multi-talented. Do you do physical stuff or mental stuff?
Both.
Both? Yeah. That's why I'm getting two energies. The King of Cups and the King of Pentacles, actually, are both multi-talented men. They're the kind of men who can take apart an engine, and they can also figure out the computer. So definite, you've got probably both, Pentacle and Cup. You're King of Pentacles all the way. You should be rich. Are you rich yet? You will be. You will be. Your understanding of what is valuable is huge. And you probably have a lot of ideas, like a lot of intuitive and a lot of inventions. Take on those inventions because your energy is wealthy. It's coming right out of you. And if you're not wealthy, it's because you haven't put into it what you know to be true. You're very intelligent. What's your name?
Aurelian.
I'm going to be looking for your name. King of Pentacles. Yes. Oh, I forgot the two in the front. Let me do them. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Well, we have a Queen of Wands right here. Good lady, kind, takes care of people, has a great deal of what I want to call like ambition for her children, wants those kids to be, and is very good at encouraging them. That's a wand. You're Queen of Cups, my dear. You could read the tarot. Have I told you that before? I don't know. You could read the tarot. Your cup energy is non-judgmental of other people. You don't have that feeling like you look down on anybody or that you wouldn't help the needy, or you just have a good heart. You're Queen of Cups. Okay. Where am I over here? Try to get at least half this room done. What time is it? Oh, I got time. Queen of Cups. Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Wands. King of Cups. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. No, Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. You don't know what that means?
I don't know what that means.
Queen of Cups. Queen of Hearts. Non-judgmental of other people, unlikely assortment of friends, people who perhaps wouldn't be friends with each other, but they're your friend, because you believe in the good in everybody. And when other people are saying, get away from her, she's going to destroy you, you say, no, she isn't. She's really nice, till she destroys you. That's the Queen of Cups. And you're the one who can read the tarot, by the way. I'm looking for your name. You're going to be rich. Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, King of Cups, hard, wand, cup energy, dual energy. Do you know I have a friend who you could be twins with her? Isn't that odd? She lives in Ohio. You have any cousins in Ohio? You could be her twin. Wand, giver, pentacle wand. You don't take any crap from anybody, right? You're just a person who, the Queen of Pentacles doesn't play head games. She's not a person who gets into people's heads and messes with it. She doesn't do that, and she doesn't like it done to her. And if you start messing around with the Queen of Pentacles, you'll find out what it's about, because she'll tell you. You're a one pentacle. You got a lot of the giver. Queen of Cups, Queen of Cups, Queen of Cups, Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, King of Wands, Cup Wand, Wand, and who's the last one down there? Wand, all wands. Wand people they tend to be together in groups. Like when you're doing a conference, it's not surprising to get quite a few Queen of Wands. Let me see if I can do one more. I'll do this table over here. And then the rest of you, I don't mean to, I only have so much time. You can come to my table and I'll do you. So let me do one more table here. Let me do this one. Queen of Cups, definitely. Pentacle Cup. You're a perfectionist, but you're intuitive as anything. You're very intuitive. Do you read cards?
No.
How come?
I bought cards from you and I've taken your class and I'm afraid of them.
No.
I don't say something wrong.
You won't say anything wrong. One of the things about tarot cards, and I tell this to my classes when I teach, you can't say anything wrong because it's coming from the cards, which are giving you messages, and your intuition, which is your intuition. And you will be right. Every time you will be right. You try it. You try it. King of Wands. Drive a truck? Good guy. Queen of Cups. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. Queen of Pentacles, with a little bit of cup in you. I think you're a little afraid of it. Do you ever notice that you have like deja vu? Yeah, I think you have a little bit of cup in you. It might be fun to develop that. You could get a deck of tarot cards and develop that. Yeah. King of Cups, big time. Queen of Pentacles. You're the one. You're the one who has all of it. Your energy is total pentacle. Your look, your feel. You can only succeed in life. You can never fail. That's right. Okay. I have a couple more things to talk about. And as I said, anyone who I haven't gotten to, please come to my table and I'll do you.
You want to take any questions?
Yeah. I had a couple little more things to do. I'll do about 5 minutes and then I'll take questions. I wanted to give some examples of some of the things that you can see in tarot. There's blurbs on the back of my book. One of them is from Trevor Vines. Trevor Vines is a motocross superstar. Not anymore, he's 40 now, but when he was young, he was a motocross superstar. And he had a shop near where I live, and he used to sell dirt bikes. And he had like a garage, and he sold dirt bikes. And he had me read his cards one day, and I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "You're meant to be a star. You're a Knight of Swords." We don't have any Knights of Swords here. Well, they're kind of young. But I said, "You're a Knight of Swords, and you belong in the limelight." So he said, "I'm packing up my dirt bike, and I'm going to California." Well, he became a motocross superstar for many years. He performed, he did all that. He's another one who said, if I hadn't listened, I wouldn't have done this. I had another one, his name's Jim. He was fixing lawn mowers at a country club. I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "You're a builder, you're a king of wands." And king of wands are builders not only of carpentry or stuff like that, but of people. And I said, "You're wasting yourself. You need to be a builder." He said, "I don't know how to be." I said, "Someone will come to help you next year." Following year, a man came to him, an older man, offered to go into business with him, building a house, flipping a house. They flipped the house. Jim loved it. Now he's a millionaire. He's 41 years old. He has built condos, developments. He's a builder, and he said had he not listened, he would have not done it. He would have been afraid. And that's when I tell people, you have that energy. Like I told, I forget your name, I'm sorry. But like I told him, he can do it. You can feel who can do it. And just take the idea and run. I want to talk just for a minute about the children of the tarot. Kids have an energy too. There are 4 kids in the tarot. The Page of Cups, who's that little kid who sees visions and says, "Oh, I see Grandma," and Grandma's been dead for 2 years. The Page of Wands, who's the little independent, loves animals and will do it herself. The Page of Swords, who's the one who doesn't have all the luck, the one who has it a little difficult. And then there's the Page of Pentacles, who's the real smart kid, the kid who is social, bright in school, early verbal. So if you're doing cards for somebody, do remember that there are children in the tarot. And there's a chapter in my book called The Children of the Tarot. And you can kind of see what your kids are. And it's nice to know that because it helps in developing them. You can see what's good to develop in them. If I had a Page of Pentacles for a child, I would make sure he had a computer. I would make sure that he knew about numbers. I would make sure he had Legos, that he could put things together, because that's the Page of Pentacles. Anyway, I have time for a few questions. Does anybody have one? Yes. Oh, I better go up to them.
We can bring them up here to the podium.
Oh, okay, whatever you want to do.
You can do it from there, they can.
They'll come here.
Okay. You want to come up? Yeah.
Podium.
I was going to say we could walk into the crowd.
We can actually walk over there if you like.
Yeah, that way they won't have to come and walk.
What do you do with the 0?
I don't know what you mean.
The Fool in the tarot deck.
Oh, the Fool's a new journey. The Fool's a beginning, and the little white dog that's pictured on the card is the subconscious, and it means that you're ready for a new journey. You don't know very much about it yet, but your little white dog, your subconscious, will guide you, and that you guide yourself through the tarot, through the journey, that's a new journey, by the Fool. A lot of times you'll see the Fool when a person has like graduated from college, and then they have to start a new journey in life, or when a person's kids have grown up and they have to start a new journey in life. It's not a particularly unusual card, but it is a little bit hard to define, but it's a new journey. Anybody else? Yes.
Sometimes I'll just pull one card at a time. I need an overall, just an overall take on what's going on or what's affecting me at the time. And so many times it comes up over and over, Wheel of Fortune, and I don't really think I understand what it's saying.
The Wheel of Fortune it means that the fortune are in your favor. So when you're projecting a new energy, a new thing in your life, you're fortunate because you won't stumble. The gods of fortune, one of the things that we need is a little bit of luck along with a little bit of knowledge. You've got the little bit of luck that goes with the knowledge. That's what it means. Anybody else? Yes. There's one over here.
Thank you. Some people believe that the tarot can open doors to dark energies. Is that something to be worried about?
No. I have never, in
Thank you.
thousands and thousands of readings, seen it open a dark door. I think that's where people are afraid of death and the devil and things like that. I've never seen a problem with it in all the years I've done it. Never. Yes.
Coming from a very conservative Christian part of the country, if I were to do this, is there a way that I could explain it to take away some of the negative, this is a tool of the devil kind of
Which
attitude?
is, and I too, I'm from the Midwest. I tell people, I explain death and the devil for every reading who's new, any new person who's getting read. I say what I told you today, that the death card is not physical death, that the devil is not Satan, that it is a misnomer. It's from, centuries ago where they misnamed it. And you can tell people that, and you can show them when you have a devil card. I explain it to people on their first reading because I know that I would be afraid if somebody flipped down a death card and I didn't know anything about it. So what you would do is explain it to them before you even begin. Anybody else?
Yeah, tarot cards, can they indicate health issues?
Oh, absolutely. There's a sword for every part of the body. You can do, the strongest health card is the Ten of Swords, which can be an indicator of cancer. In fact, I had a girl one time who I saw the card in her, and I had done her cards for years, and I said, when's the last time I saw a female card, the Empress, and she was reversed. And I said, when's the last time you've been to a gynecologist? And she said, 20 years. And I said, you better go. And she went. She got a little scared, and I didn't try to scare her. I just said, why don't you go get checked? And she called me a few weeks later, and there was a message on my machine when I got home, and she said, well, if you weren't always right, I wouldn't be sitting here with a hysterectomy. And she had cervical cancer. So you can find the lungs, the heart, the liver, everything. Yes.
You said that the page represents your children?
Your children.
Okay, I have a 47-year-old son. Would he still be represented by the page?
No, he
if
would
it
be
was for-
represented by a king.
Okay.
The pages are little kids, little kids. Like I'd say up to 15, 16.
I understood that.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Okay.
One more.
So do people have to actually be present? So if you said you thought I could read cards, which I don't know yet, but so could you read somebody like my son, even though he's not here and I don't have his permission? What about permission? And
Permission is important. You can't read
Okay.
people without their permission. It's wrong.
so if they say they give you permission, but they're not there physically, you're far away, does that matter?
Yes, it does matter. What I do, and I have a big clientele like this, what I do is I have them go purchase a deck of Universal Weight Tarot cards, which you can get in any Barnes & Noble store. I have them shuffle the deck a whole lot. I have them mail it to me with their phone number. I call them, I read their cards, and I mail them back. I don't believe that a reader, if you know somebody really well, like my best friend might say, hey, should I take this job? And she's on the West Coast, I can flip down the cards and see if somebody like that. But somebody who I don't know, I've done some of the people in here over the phone, and you just ask them to shuffle them, because you need their energy on them. I don't believe like those people that say, I'm going to charge you $3.98 a minute on the phone, and I don't believe in any of that. They have to touch the cards. That's where the energy comes from. And then you can mail them back. It's easy. Okay, well, oh yes, I'll do one more. What? One more.
You have referenced the universal weight deck
Yes.
several times. Is that really the only deck you recommend, or does it really matter?
It doesn't really matter, but I use the universal weight deck for beginners because it's so easy to understand. Some of the other ones are very esoteric. Some of them I don't even understand, but the universal weight, yes. Well, thank you all very, very much.